Welcome. My name is Shamus Roller. I'm the Director of Housing California and also the Interim Executive Director for Sacramento Steps Forward. We're on the front of the report that you all see today. I think I woke up this morning and I started to read the Sacramento Bee article, and they were talking about one of the people who is included in this report, whose name was Martin Roller. There are not a lot of rollers in this world that are not related to me. It's not a very common name. I've met a handful of people in my time. To the best of my knowledge, I'm not related to Martin Roller, but it was just a little bit of a reminder of that these people that we're talking about today are not statistics. They are people with families and stories, relationships, potential, and love and compassion. And just a little reminder of how close all of those people who are in this report are to all of us members of our community. This report, I think, is really tremendous. It also reflects what is shown in reports all across this country, which is that homelessness, that being without a home makes people sick, that it puts them in danger, that it makes them die sooner than they would otherwise. And one of the developments that I talk a lot about now is a place called Mission Creek that's in San Francisco, and it's a direct referral from hospitals and from skilled nursing facilities for people who are really sick and who don't have stable homes. The first 50 people who moved into Mission Creek, what they found was that it saved $29,000 a year in Medi-Cal for each of those 50 people per year by moving them into a stable home. That being out on the streets makes people sicker, it ends their lives sooner, and it costs everyone in our communities a great deal of money. I think one of the other aspects of being homeless that people who don't interact with people that are homeless don't realize is that being homeless is extremely boring for many people. That it is very boring, punctuated by times of extreme danger. That many people, and I think that I certainly would have been one myself if I found myself in that situation, turn to alcohol or other substances to dull those extremes and to make life a little bit more bearable. This report also shows that in addition to making people sick, homelessness puts people at risk of violence. That people who are living on the streets are much more likely to be victims of violence than those people who are living in a home. And I think for those of us who go home at night to a safe home, I think I sometimes have that nightmare about somebody breaking into my house. I think many other people do. Partially that's because we forget that what a home is a door and a lock that keeps the randomness out of the rest of our lives. It keeps it at bay. And that when I go home and have a door in between me and the rest of the world, it means that somebody who's walking home from a bar at night isn't going to kick me just because they feel like it on the way home. And that is a tremendous, tremendous gift in a lot of ways that the people in this report did not have. I think emerging research in the medical field also shows us that our health is a combination of our DNA, and it's a combination of our experiences in our lives, that our experiences are written into who we are. It's written in over time and affects our health over time. This is a tremendous report, but what it doesn't capture is the lost years of people who move off the street and move into a home. That those years that they spent on the streets, those years also degraded their lives, create medical conditions that they deal with over many, many years. So in addition to the 500 lives that we're talking about here, there are also many years that have been lost among people who were able to get off the streets because they were sicker for the time that they had spent on the streets. And I think what this study shows, and many other studies have shown, is that our policy of managing homelessness that we have used in this country over the last 30 or 40 years is a failed one. That moving people off of the streets and into a stable home is both more efficient economically, that it costs less money, that it is more humane than trying to manage homeless people through jails, through emergency rooms, through unstable shelter, through police departments. that providing people a stable home, that ending homelessness is both cheaper and a better way to do it. And it's a much finer result than allowing our friends and family to die outside and alone. I'd like to invite up Sister Libby Fernandez.